Hey everybody, I'm Carl with Haunt 365, and today we're going to be unboxing the 12-foot Inferno Deadwood Skeleton from Home Depot that they just released here for their halfway to Halloween sale back in April. We're going to take a look and open it up and see what all we got. Let's get after it. So like the other 12-footers, we've got the instructions here that are on the top of the box. It comes with the instructions inside as well, but you've also got it with the box. Keeping the box is pretty important because when you're putting this thing together, you need something to lean it on, and this thing is the perfect size to do that. So we've got the base that looks pretty similar. It's pretty much the same thing as the 12-foot skeleton. Maybe a little bit different. I noticed a couple of little different things, but for the most part, it's pretty similar. Here we've got the hips for it, legs. Here we got the feet. Feet are a little different, kind of just almost like little tree stumps. Here we got these spooky hands, shoulders that you can see is kind of similar to the 12-foot skeleton, where you can kind of change the direction of the arms and kind of pose the arms in different ways. I believe this is the spine for it. We got the torso right here with the neck. This thing is pretty awesome here, actually. So then in this other box, we've got all the other poles and stakes and whatnot. So don't forget, when you're going through, you want to make sure that you don't forget about this. Also got the electric adapter. Don't forget, you want to grab that. It's kind of hidden in the box as well. Here you got your instruction manual, so make sure that you put that in a safe place. Last, we got the head, which, like the 12-foot skeleton and the Inferno skeleton before it, comes with the life eyes. This thing is awesome. This thing is actually a little different too, as it lights up. It has that integrated lighting where it actually has 7 different types of lighting, or colors, I should say, that you can utilize and change colors on it. I do have to laugh because when you look at the head, it actually looks like Groot with its head on fire, which is kind of funny. You know, this is actually a pretty awesome prop, especially if you're doing like a haunted forest theme. So now that we got all the pieces out of the box, let's quick take a look at them before we assemble this thing. All right, so the instructions say you got to start with the base extensions. I got them right here. They're labeled B. Helps with stability and whatnot, especially on those windy days. Gives these 12-footers a little bit of stability. We're gonna go and put those on first. All right, so it says we want to do the feet next. One is labeled C, one is labeled D, so make sure that you're paying attention to that because it is important. Then it says you want to do the lower support poles. They're labeled E. Then we've got the lower legs. They're labeled F and G. It doesn't really click in like I feel like it should. Then we've got the next 2 leg poles, which are H and I. Then we've got K and J for the next 2 leg pieces. Whoops. So next we got the hips. They're labeled L. When installing the hips, you want to make sure that they snap in. Sometimes it can be a little difficult and you got to wiggle them around a little bit, but you just got to put a little effort into it. The next part, it's actually recommended that you have multiple people here helping you with this. I'm going to attempt to do it on my own just to see if I can do it. It says you want 3 people. The first thing you want to do is you want to lean the base and the legs and the hips and whatnot over the box. That way you can get to the spine and put the rest of it together before putting it up. So now we want to attach the spinal pole, which is labeled M. So next is the chest. It's labeled number N. Before you put the chest on, you want to make sure that you hook up the animatronic part, the electronics. That way you don't get this thing completely put together and then realize, oh shoot, I got to take it apart. So make sure that you connect these adapters. That way you don't have that issue. Next, you want to make sure that you put the loop screw in. It's labeled number T. Next, we got the upper arms by the shoulders. They're labeled P and O. This is where you can kind of adjust which way you want the arms to be facing and so forth. Kind of gives it a different look. If you want the arms up, if you want the arms down, if you want one arm up or the other down and so forth, you can go ahead. This is where you can do that. Once you've placed those arms and shoulder where you want them, you're going to use the Allen wrench to lock that in and make sure that that's tightened up so that those aren't going anywhere. Next, you want to attach the hands. They're labeled Q and R. So next we're going to install the tether. That's going to go from the loop screw that's in the middle, right in the middle of the back, all the way to the base, and it's going to help keep it upright and from having too much flex, especially on those windy days. So lastly, we're going to install the head. It's labeled S. Before we put it on, you want to make sure that you're connecting the wires. That way you're able to light it up and you're not getting this thing fully up and then realizing, oh shoot, I forgot to do that. So you want to make sure that you connect these first. All right, so let's pop this guy up, take a look and see what he looks like. Both arms. That's not good.
Don't forget to make sure that the hands and the arms are locked and loaded in the correct way, because otherwise you get this result. Now let's try that again.
Wow. I'm going to be honest, this guy feels a lot taller than the 12-foot skeleton that I have in my front yard typically. It does say he is 12 and a half feet, so this guy is actually pretty awesome. So just like the 12-foot skeleton and the 12-foot pumpkin Inferno skeleton, we got the life eyes that are pretty cool, that blink and move around. So here is the 12-foot Inferno Deadwood skeleton in all its glory. This one in particular, unfortunately, the lighting kit and the eyes don't seem to want to work. Make sure that if this is the case, you know, if you open yours up and this is the case, go to your email and send an email to this Home Depot email address, and they will send you the parts that are needed. They might ask for a picture or something like that. I'm going to put the email address in the description of this video so that you can go and utilize that, because they usually are pretty good about sending those out pretty quick. In the meantime, you know, this thing is pretty awesome. Again, you could tell it's a little bit taller than the normal 12-foot skeleton, and it's pretty cool. Once I get this thing, you know, where it's got the right parts and everything's working, you know, I'm pretty excited for this. So in the meantime, you know, stay spooky, my friends. I'll see you next time.